originally scheduled to be part of a six-pack challenge until WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Hey, no, stop, just don't do it.
Y'all really got me out here like this. I have been trying to avoid making a video over this past couple of days, but I just can't help it anymore. Everybody's running their yaps, flapping their gums about this and that, blaming Sasha and Naomi, you know, calling them unprofessional. Then you got the people who are just unequivocally standing, Sasha standing, representing Naomi, all the stuff. The internet is ablaze. My phone has been blowing up like a Taco Bell restroom. This is the first time in years that anybody has talked about Raw like it's got any type of buzz. It's like we're living out a Vince Russo wet dream, bro. You got wrestlers walking out in the middle of the live shows. You got WWE outright telling the fans, the world, that people are going off script, and fans are confused. They're working themselves into a shoot and they don't know what's a work and what's a shoot, and they're shooting themselves into a work, all that good stuff. HH, brother. My name is Brandon. I am reporting live here for EK Wrestling, and let's just dive right into this Sasha Banks and Naomi situation. Look, I love a little bit of good drama. I love a little bit of tea time just as much as everybody else. But that's exactly what's wrong with wrestling nowadays. We shouldn't even know what's going on right now. We should have never heard about this. You know, back in my day, kayfabe still kind of meant something. It was on life support, but they still acted like they cared. Now you got WWE putting out press statements on Instagram talking about how Raw is a live scripted television show where our characters are expected to perform the duties. Like, what? Like, WWE really out here playing the world's smallest violin, trying to beg for sympathy, you know, with that smear campaign on their talent. And don't get me started with that great value Travis Barker looking ass motherfucker Corey Graves talking about and running down and just airing WWE's dirty laundry on television. Like, you know what this reminds me of? WWE putting out that statement and all this stuff they're doing. They're like a bitter ex who is so hell-bent on proving to everybody else, you know, I tried everything I could to get this to work, but you were the problem. They're on like, you know, you can't break up with me because I break up with you, you dumb bitch. That's literally how they're acting. I just find it like on some Petty LaBelle type of stuff. Are we really supposed to believe that Sasha and Naomi had a problem working with Becky, Asuka, Nikki, Doudrop? Sasha mad because Mikaze made Nikki's ear a little bit too tight. I don't know, but I don't feel like that's the case. I think it's more likely that it's a problem with the creative, which is always a part. When it comes to WWE, what is it? It ain't even the money because you get paid. It's the fucking creative, as always. I mean, God forbid that we have anybody in this company that actually cares about how their characters are presented, about the long-term plans, storylines, because God knows WWE only plans a few hours in advance. They don't do long-term booking unless it's for Roman or maybe Charlotte. You have that select preferential treatment. Yes, they're big stars, woo woo, rada rada, but you don't get that throughout the card, and this is exactly one of those cases playing out. I feel that Sasha and Naomi both felt undervalued and disrespected and wanted more for not only themselves but for all of the women in the WWE, their presentation, actually having a sustained, you know, worthwhile program for these women's tag team titles, something that Sasha has been that day one advocate for. And even though throughout many of her efforts, Boston Hug Connection, the Golden Role Models, now at Boston Glow, they are literally still treated like an afterthought. And I think that is what a lot of people are missing here. There's a stand, there's a method behind this madness, and I just feel like they reached a breaking point, and I can't blame them for that. Now, if I understand things correctly, I do believe they tried to go about it the right way. You know, before, that's where the heated confrontation ended up leading to. But Vince won't budging, and Sasha was like, nah, this is how we should do it. And, you know, Sasha, and it's like, you know, when people say, well, if you don't like it, then leave. All right, fuck around and find out. They left. So what you gonna do now? In their situations, when you know your worth, you're very skilled and talented as an athlete, you have, and also as a creative or an artist, you have these passion, you have these ideas, you give it your all. You're really in a place of privilege, you know? You are paid at a high level for the gifts and talents and everything that you bring and possess. And these independent contractors that give their all to WWE at least expect to be heard. The bare minimum, you know? I think we all know how passionate Sasha is about this business, how obsessed she's been about wrestling for years. She ain't in this shit just for the money, bro. And it's obvious. So I respect that because I get it, you know? It's not just about a check. Yeah, you want to be taken care of, but it's deeper than that. I think the entire crux of this is you have these performers that are trying to build something. I feel like we really got to sit and think, how many opportunities do the women really have in WWE? Like, there's a lot of opportunities for the guys, and even their booking is like minimal and sparse. But you have, well, the undisputed universal title, which will eventually probably be separated back into two world titles, two mid-card titles, your IC, your US, and then two sets of tag titles. And outside of the championships, you have main event level feuds, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, for instance. Exciting factions that, yes, thankfully they're starting to incorporate some women in there because Rhea Ripley's in it. But you have all these different opportunities and different feuds all throughout for the men. And I'm going to tell you, well, look, we're not in the Divas era anymore. WWE battered over our heads. This is the women's revolution. We're about empowering women main eventing pay-per-views, Raws, WrestleManias. So why are we gonna do lip service and not give them due justice? Because I don't know if you've been watching the same WWE as I have for years, but unless it's a title involved or Charlotte, and usually Charlotte is involved with the title, there ain't that many feuds or programs going on for women. Historically, there just haven't. You know, I know Becky and Asuka got something bubbling up, like I just mentioned Rhea with Judgment Day, but that's all new. Usually you just got the titles and that's it. So how dare somebody actually have a plan for these things? Like, I'm not going to jump to be sympathetic for WWE management. All these mass firings and cuts, you know, it's because of budget cuts, pal. I'm not in a rush to do that. Also, with the recent stuff that Ember Moon dropping about these fashion consultant meetings trying to force the developmental women to, you know, show some more ass and titties, like, if that's what you want to do, I don't think there's a lot of fans that would oppose that. But the part in the women's revolution is allowing the women to be women. If the women want to dress a certain way, let them do it. But all women ain't trying to be Mandy Rose or Nikita Lyons. You know, you have your Baileys. You know, you have your Shayna Baszlers. You have your Ronda Rouseys. You know, it ain't all just about the TNA no more. Now hear me out here. I'm a lifelong WWE fan. Lifelong pro wrestling fan. I love the art form. I love the performers. I love the history behind the business. Hear me out. But the way that some of y'all be lining up, posting, simping out for WWE, ready to take the stand and trial and defend their honor, man, it's crazy. Like, even in murky situations, stuff that's 50-50, which this is a 50-50 type of situation on the internet, or even stuff where they're just obviously wrong, y'all be ready to just stake your claim for them. It's like the auditioning for Vince's Kiss My Ass Club. Like, I love it. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, y'all really gotta chill with that. You know what they say, there's two sides of every story, and then there's the truth. there's that fine line in the middle. So I wonder what the truth is in this situation. But it's really just kind of how you feel. I believe context is everything. You know, there's got to be a reason why these women walked out. And whatever it is, it had to be very serious. I don't think Naomi is an unreasonable person. I think Sasha is very passionate. I think that she, you know, she really cares about her stuff, but without knowing a little bit more details or anything like that, you know, I'm not just gonna just shit on them. No, I'm gonna say that WWE probably pissed them off. And with their track record, with all the different things in creative that we have heard and seen, and just the shady things that they've been doing, the grimy stuff, it's kind of hard to just campaign for the WWE's righteous cause, you know. So that's where I am on the situation. I know, you know, a lot of people might have other takes, but look, tell me what you think. Let's see if we can have some engaging conversation in those comments. You know, definitely let me know your side of the story. If you feel like, yo, Brandon, you are completely off base here. Or Brandon, I really feel like I enjoy what you were saying, but let's go a little bit further. Or anything like that. You know, I, you know, have taken myself out of the situation a little bit, had to gather my thoughts of what, you know, I felt like was my official opinion, but this is still a hot button issue, and it will be until we get some more information and when we get some more information. So until then, I hope you enjoy the video. This is EK Wrestling. Brandon reporting live here in the green screen studio, and we'll see you next time. Be blessed. Take care.